Hello and welcome to AWS. Today we will create the EKS cluster using the AWS Console. So let's start. For creating the EKS cluster, first we need to create the IAM role. So we will start it from the IAM. So first of all, we'll access the IAM console and go to the roles. Here we need to create an IAM role. For a IAM role, we need to select the AWS service. And in this case, the use case is the EKS. So just search the EKS. Here you can see the EKS. The use case the EKS, but we need to select the other services, the use case with the EKS cluster, EKS node group, or other options. But in today's lab, we just create the EKS cluster, so we should select this option. And now we should go to the next. Here you can see that this is the AWS managed IAM policy, which is the default policy which we need for this case. So make it default, and this you can see that this is the AWS managed policy. So select the next, and here we should add the name what we want to add the name for the EKS cluster. So in this case, the name of the role is the EKS service role. So, or you can make it capital. It's up to you. EKS service role. Okay, so this is the role which we need for our creation of the EKS cluster. So you can see that it's creating. So let's wait. I think it's done. So when it's done, we just need to select, and you can see that here we are having this IAM role. So the step 2 is the we should create the VPC. As you know that in every region we have default VPCs. At the moment, we need to create a custom VPC so we can properly create the EKS cluster in our separate and new VPC for the security purposes. Nothing else. We can create it in the default as well, but it's not a best practice because in the default VPC, as you know, that all of the subnets are public. But for the better security and for the better architecture, we should create our own VPC, custom VPC. To create the VPC, we have an option to create it manually or using the wizard. We can create it manually, but if we follow the manual process, we should first create the VPC and then subnet, route table, internet gateway, NAT gateway, elastic IPs, and all of these things we need to create. But the best and better practice is that we should follow the template, CloudFormation template, which we already created. So I will go to the CloudFormation service console, and I have created the CloudFormation template already. Let me show you. This is the template, CloudFormation template. Let me zoom it so I can explain it properly. This is the VPC creation. In this template, you can see that I have written down the EKS sample VPC, private and public subnets, 2 public and 2 private subnets we are creating. These are the parameters which we added here, and the default CIDR is the 192.168.0.0. And you can see that the public CIDR, and we have an option to change it later when we're creating it using the CloudFormation. We have an option there as well, because all of these parameters will ask to change the parameter in the CloudFormation when we are using it. So after that, you can see that here we have the metadata here. All of these parameters which we above created are there. These are the resources which we are creating. First, we are creating the VPC. You can see that the VPC and the CIDR block, which we have set it in the VPC block. You can see that whatever CIDR which we will enter in the parameter of the CloudFormation, it will get it. And after that, you can see that we are enabling the DNS support and host name as well. So our all public subnets have the DNS as well. So here you can see that we are setting up the name in the tags. The name of the template is setting here, and after that we are setting the VPC. Oh, sorry. So you can see that internet gateway is creating, internet gateway is attaching with the VPC, public route tables we are creating. You can see that while creating the public route table, we are attached the VPC with it. And the name of the route table is the public. And here we are creating the private route table, same as the public. And the private route table too, we are creating it. Just no need for that, but it's just an optional thing because in this template, we are creating one public route table and two private route tables just for making it proper highly available architecture. In future, we are creating our cluster in the highly available different availability zones. So that's why we are creating it and attaching the NAT gateway separately with these private route tables. Later, you can see that. Public route tables, we are just attaching it, the VPC, VPC just adding the route, public route. It's not the route table, it's a route which we are adding the public route table, just adding the public route through the internet gateway. You can see that we are attaching the internet gateway with this route, and all of the traffic 000 is a wildcard. And private route table traffic will be for the first private route table, we are attaching the first NAT gateway, and for the second private route table, we are attaching the second NAT gateway, which we are creating there. You can see that first NAT gateway is creating all of these things which we need to attach. You can see that elastic IP is required while creating the NAT gateway. We are already attaching it with the associating the public elastic IP with it, and you can see that we are creating this NAT gateway in the public subnet 01 and this NAT gateway in the public subnet 02 and attaching another elastic IP with it. And here you can see that elastic IPs are creating. Here we are creating, and above we are attaching, so it will follow the process. And you can see that here we are creating the public subnet 01, public subnet 02, all of these things which we need for the public subnet is there. And you can see that public subnet 2 is there, private subnet 01 is there, and public subnet 02 is there. So I'm not going through all of these options, but the high level overview I'm giving you. So here you can see that the public subnets attaching with the public route tables, and the private subnets is attaching with the private route tables. One private route table is attached with the private route table 1, and the second route table. The second private subnet is attached with the second route table. So here you can see that it's a security group, and here we are having our different outputs, which we are just when the CloudFormation template is completed, we can have all of these VPC ID and the description and all other things are there when the CloudFormation template is completed. So let's go back to the CloudFormation page. So we will create it there. Okay, so now we will create the stack. We have clicked on the create stack. Here we are having the option to upload it from the S3 or from my laptop. So let me upload it from my local laptop. So here you can see that this is the stack which we are creating, and this is the same file which I have explained to you. So we just need to go to the next, and here we need to enter the name of the stack, EKS, VPC, and subnet. So this is the name. And here we are using the default CIDR, which I have already there. If you want to change it, then we can do that. I think this is the issue with the and sign. So we just need to remove it, and then we can try, and it works. If you want to add the tags, you can add it. Need IAM role or any other information, you can add it. And this is the overview which we are creating here. You can see that the subnets are there, the VPC is there, which parameters we have selected, and now it's in creating. So it will take some time to create, but you can see that the events, whenever we refresh it, it's creating the VPC, it's creating the internet gateway, and it will create the NAT gateways and elastic IPs. This task I should add it here that some of the resources are free, but few resources like elastic IPs and NAT gateways are not free. So whenever you create it, it will cost you. So we will wait it to complete. You can see that it's still in creation. So let me show you the VPC status. Here you can see that the EKS VPC is there. The subnets, I think, should be there. Yeah, all of these subnets are there, and the CIDRs, you can see that route tables are there, and internet gateway should be there. So I think we should wait 2 to 3 minutes more, then it should complete. Okay, so you can see that the stack is completed, and all of the resources are there and properly attached without any issue. If we have any error, it will show there, and you can fix it. But if you, I will share this template file in my GitHub repository. Then you can follow it and you can create it or modify whatever you need to modify. So this is the part which where we have the VPC properly created. Now we will use this VPC in our EKS cluster to create it. Let's start the part 3. Here we are creating the EKS cluster. First, we need to create the EKS cluster. So for that, we just need to click it on the create button. We need to add the name. The name will be EKS demo cluster, which we are creating. The value should be default if you are creating it, or you can select it any version which you are looking for. So for that role, it's there, which we in a step 1 we have created the IAM role. It's already there, EKS service role, which we have created. And after that, if you want to add the tag, you can add it there, but we are not looking for. So now we should select our own VPC, which our CloudFormation template is created. So all of these subnets should be there, and you can see that automatically all of the subnets are attached with it. The security group which we were created for our EKS, it should be attached. So we will select this security group, and we don't need the IPv6. We are looking for the IPv4, and this is the option which is very important. And we should first have a proper understanding what we are looking for, how we want to create our cluster. For the public, all of the nodes were clustered. All of the nodes, worker nodes, and the cluster is in the public subnet. And if we want to create it in the private and public and private subnets, then we will select it this. And if we want all of these things in a private subnet, then we will select the private. So I think we should select the public and private, because we want some of the worker nodes should be in the private subnet, and few of them if we are looking for in the public, then we can add it later as well. So no need to add this option. Advanced settings is fine. This is the option where we can select the network add-ons, but I think we should follow the default network add-ons. Here you can see that the logging, if we are looking for the API server logging, an audit or authenticator or control manager scheduler, we can enable it, whatever what we are looking for. But for this demo, we are not looking for any logging. All of these logs should be access or get from the CloudWatch. You can see that we can whenever we are enabling it, then the CloudWatch log group is created, and all of these specific logs go to the specific CloudWatch log group. So this is the overview which we have selected, and we just need to click on the create button. And now you can see that it's in creation process, and it will take around 10 to 15 minutes to properly create. So we should wait for a while. So I'm pausing this video. Whenever it's finished, then we will start.